everybody, and welcome back to the first match reaction of the 2023-24 season. And what a way to bring them back, eh? It finished at the Valley yesterday. Charlton Athletic 1, Leyton Orient 0. The perfect start to the new era and to this new team. Wasn't a classic by any stretch of the imagination. It wasn't a fantastic performance, but it does take grinding out 1-0 victories that gets you promoted. A very open game for large portions of it. Both teams having their chances, both teams giving it a go. But it was George Dobson's first half tap-in just before the stroke of half-time that was the difference between the two sides. Really good day yesterday. Really enjoyed it. A solid enough performance to get the 3 points. Like I said, it wasn't fantastic. There were some shaky moments in there in our performance, but we did enough to get the victory, and that's all that matters. The atmosphere was absolutely brilliant. Of course, the club promoting that it was, I think we'd sold more tickets than any other game that we did last season, which just shows the optimism surrounding the club at the moment with the takeover and Dean Holden and the squad. And following this victory, it's only going to get more and more excitement building. You know, more people are going to go to away games, and there's going to be, you know, even more atmospheric games at the Valley in the next few months. So yeah, really looking forward to the rest of the season now. And as I said, starting off the season yesterday in the perfect way with 3 points. So you guys know the drill with these match reactions. We'll get into the starting lineup and then discuss the game. The lineup itself, bold is how I would describe it. Very bold, to say the least. Of course, it was the 5-3-2 that we've been playing for most of pre-season. Maynard-Brewer was the choice of goalkeeper, which didn't really surprise me, having been given the number 1, and you know, he'd been playing the last few games in pre-season. The back five, Nathan Asiimwe making his full league debut at right wing back, with Karoy Blackett-Taylor on the other side, and the 3 centre backs were Ness, Lloyd Jones and Terell Thomas. The midfield 3 was George Dobson, Karoy Anderson also getting his first league debut, a full league start should I say, and Scott Fraser. And the front 2 was Alfie May and Tyreece Campbell. Now, as I said, quite a bold lineup. Obviously, Hector and Panutche Camara being the main absentees from that team, and I was quite surprised to see both of them drop. However, I do quite like that, because it does show that their spots in the team are not guaranteed. You know, you would say on paper that Hector is the best centre-back we've got and Camara should definitely be starting. It shows that their spots are not guaranteed, and it also shows that Holden has faith in the younger players. You know, the likes of Anderson coming in. Of course, Anderson signing a new 4-year contract before the game with an option of a 5th year. That is absolutely brilliant news, and again shows the new era, really. You know, a new ownership coming in and instantly, you know, giving our young players new contracts. Nathan Asiimwe, of course, getting a start as well. Holden showing confidence in him. I was quite surprised to see Ness starting, to be perfectly honest with you, though. He really did struggle against Aberdeen on Saturday. Yes, he was obviously on the wrong side of the defence. He was on the left-hand side, and that's why we got bullied. He's obviously naturally right-sided, and that's why I had Terell Thomas when I predicted my lineups on FanHub. I did put Terell Thomas in the starting 11 because he offered that natural cover on the left-hand side. I think Campbell, out of all of the wingers that we've got, is more natural to playing striker. I think he suits that system a lot better as the leading man up front with May, but as we'll get into in the game, I think it's clear that with a proper striker next to him, with the likes of Miles Leaburn, he will be a lot more effective. But yeah, besides that, I think there was no real complaints with the starting lineup. I was glad that the youngsters got their chance. I was glad that Campbell was starting over Kirk up front. As for Leyton Orient, just coming up from League 2, they've obviously got a point to prove. They were going to come here and give it a go. Obviously sold out the Jimmy Seed stand, which is fantastic support, which is, well, to be fair, it's hardly surprising considering it was a London derby. But in terms of Orient's team, they have got some threats in that side. You know, the likes of Joe Pigott coming in. I did say in my predictions video, and moved back to London after 2 disappointing spells at Ipswich and Portsmouth may be good for him. Then you got Idris El-Mazouni in midfield as well, and of course experience with Omar Beckles and the return of Darren Pratley. It was nice to see him back down the Valley as well. So it was going to be an interesting game. It was certainly going to be tight, and that's exactly how the game panned out, really. First half, well, to be fair, first half we come out the blocks. We were really firing on all cylinders and looked really lively. You know, Blackett-Taylor getting the ball out on the left-hand side and putting balls into the box. You know, we're spraying it about and looking pretty good. And we nearly took the lead inside the first 4 minutes. Blackett-Taylor producing a cross into the box after taking on his man. I think it was Asiimwe who headed it down, and it come to Alfie May, and he sort of hooked it with his right foot into the air, and he's taken it on the volley on the left. And Sol Bryn, to be fair to him, it's a fantastic save. Could very easily have been 1-0, but Bryn did really well there. But yeah, I think it set the tempo from the off, really. Charlton really came out the blocks guns blazing, and we looked really lively. You know, as I said, Blackett-Taylor, I think, was the focal point of most of our deadly attacks. You know, he was just getting the ball on the left-hand side and just skinning players on the left and just going past them and putting balls into the box. We were really threatening. But my main concern going into the game when I saw the lineup was defensively. I felt that the defence, particularly the back three, looked like it had a mistake in it, and that if it was exposed, Orient could get in behind and they could score. And they did show that a couple of times. I think not long after we had that chance, they played a ball in and completely passed all of our defenders. I think it was Joe Pigott, and he went to take Maynard-Brewer, or went to go round Maynard-Brewer. Maynard-Brewer takes him down, but the flag went up for offside anyway, so that would have been an interesting decision. But it showed our defensive frailty, should I say. You know, I felt that our defence did have a mistake in it. But it was a very open game. You know, both teams had their chances. Theo Archibald came very close, I think, just before 20 minutes, just before the 20-minute mark. He got played in on the right-hand side, trying to take on Terell Thomas. He managed to curl a shot past him. Maynard-Brewer making a good save, getting down well to make that save. And after that point, to be honest, I think after the 20 minutes, I think it was a standard Charlton thing, really. We just went flat. The game just went flat, and we just looked like we didn't really want the ball. We just went a bit lethargic. The defence looking every single time to try and play a long ball forward to Alfie May, who, to be fair to May, off the ball, he's fantastic. You know, his work ethic is brilliant, and he just gets in behind. He makes those runs onto those long balls. But it was really frustrating to watch, you know, because the defence would just play it, you know, across the back three, across the defence, and the midfield and the attack just didn't want to move until eventually Alfie May would make a run and we'd produce a long ball and we'd either play it wide off the pitch or we'd overshoot it and it'll go out for a goal kick. It was really, really frustrating to watch for that 15-minute spell. But then just before half-time, we did get the goal, and we got the goal when we needed it, really. We desperately needed that goal before half-time, and that obviously was the difference, and it was Jules Dobson. Orient played the ball, or tried to play the ball from the back towards their attacker. Terell Thomas cut it out. He played in Blackett-Taylor. He skinned past his man. He put it across the face of goal. Dobson and May came running into the 6-yard box, but it was Dobson that got there first and was there to poke it in. Really happy for Dobbo getting the first goal of the season. Of course, Asiimwe Maynard-Brewer did call it in a Charlton TV interview that Miles Leyton did. He said he was going to get the first goal of the season, and Maynard-Brewer called it big Dobson. Wasn't quite a 30-yard volley though, but it was a tap-in, but they all count at the end of the day, and Dobson getting the first goal of the season, and we go into half-time 1-0 up. Yeah, as I said, very open. Both teams had their chances. We were very lively in the first 20 minutes, sort of went flat. After that stage, it was quite frustrating to watch, but I felt on the whole, we probably deserved to be in front. I think we had the more threatening opportunities. That's not to say Orient didn't threaten us, because they did have their chances, and it showed that they could play and they could get in behind our defence and they could expose us a little bit, but we were able to deal with it for the most part. And the second half was more of the same. You know, both teams had their chances. I missed the first 10 minutes of the first half or so because I was down in the bar having a beer. But I heard that Alfie May got booked for dissent, and that's all I can really remember. And Tyreece Campbell had a shot. But yeah, it was a very open game. You know, both teams had their chances in the second half. Both teams trying to threaten each other with their opportunities. Blackett-Taylor came quite close. I think late on to the second half, he fired a shot going towards the near post, and the keeper was able to make a save. Maynard-Brewer was called into action a few times as well. He parried a shot over the bar. I think towards the end of the game as well, I think right at the end, it was pulled into an interesting save, shall we say, when they took a shot on the edge of the box, and he sort of like punched it out with this and sort of punched it down across the floor, and he's come running out to slide tackle it away, which was a really good save, to be fair to him. He did really well there. In terms of our substitutions, who come on for us? I think the first one was Camara. Yeah, Camara came on for Karoy Anderson. Anderson, I think he played all right. I think he played a decent game. You could definitely tell he's inexperienced though. I think he gave the ball away a few times, but he wasn't afraid to get stuck in. You know, he got stuck in, and you can only love that from an 18-year-old, you know, someone who's barely played in the under-21s, and obviously getting a 4-year contract as well, and deservedly so. So I'm glad he's getting his opportunity in the first team, but like I said, you could definitely tell he's inexperienced. But I think on the whole, he had a pretty good game, and obviously Panutche Camara came on, and my God, they say to never fall in love with a lone player. I don't care if he played only 15 minutes. Camara was electric when he came on. He is exactly the box-to-box midfielder that we've been crying out for. You know, he just got hold of the ball, got stuck in, and his technicality, what he can do with the ball at his feet, is just a joy to watch. It's absolutely fantastic. And if he can stay fit, I said it at the start, I might have mentioned it, he will be a menace this season at this level. He will be absolutely fantastic, and I really hope he can stay fit, because he had a disastrous season last year of Ipswich, and like I said, you know, he is one of the best midfielders in this league on his day when he turns it up, and Jesus Christ, he was good. But I don't know how he missed that chance. We have got to talk about that open goal right at the end of the game in stoppage time. Tyreece Edun was another one that came on as well. I mentioned the substitutions very briefly before I get into that end chance. Tyreece Edun came on for Blackett-Taylor. Charlie Kirk replaced Tyreece Campbell, and then Michael Hector came on for Lloyd Jones to add a bit more assurance at the back. Jones was probably the weakest of the back three, in my opinion. He would look quite shaky. He looked quite hesitant to play a forward pass at times, and when he did, he sprayed it off the pitch. he did look like he got caught out a few times as well in terms of his positioning, but yeah, an all right, I suppose an okay performance from Jones. He wasn't terrible, but yeah, he was definitely the weaker of the back three. And when Hector came on, obviously added a bit more stability into the defensive line. Edun was again another one that made a good cameo as well in the 10 minutes. You know, he's looked like he's got a decent amount of pace and he wants to get forward and he looks hungry. He came on, I was saying to a friend of mine who's a Blackburn fan, I said, he looks hungry when he came on and he really wants to prove a point and wants to play for the shirt. And it is really nice to add that balance to the side. You know, we've finally got a natural left back, and we haven't had that since Ben Purrington. So it is good that we've got that now. And Charlie Kirk, I don't want to be too harsh on Kirk, but I think I've said it a few times. He just doesn't fit the system that we're playing. I just don't like him as a striker. I think, to be fair, he played. I don't really know where he played, to be fair. He was on the right hand side. He definitely wasn't up front. I think when he came on, May went as like the lone striker, and Kirk, sort of drifted off out wide. But yeah, Kirk is just, at the moment, he's just such a frustrating player to watch because I just don't think he offers anything for this system. And to be perfectly honest with you, he is a player I would still like to see moved on. And it was very clear that the crowd was on his back for sure. And it showed that he's got a point to prove and he's got to win the fans back. There was one chance where Solbrin, Orient's goalkeeper, came up for a corner and we got it clear and it came to Charlie Kirk and the fans are screaming for him to shoot. And he took a few more touches forward, tried to drive the ball forward a couple more yards and ended up losing the ball. Yeah, that frustrated the Cumberland quite a lot. But it does show that Kirk has got a lot of people against him at the moment. And unfortunately, I'm one of them because, like I said, in the system that we're playing, I just don't think it suits him, and I don't think he can offer anything in the system or for this club. We were able to hold on, really, to the end. We were able to hold on with the 1-0 victory, but we will now talk about that Panutche Camara open goal miss. I don't know how he put that wide, and that certainly would have killed the game off. Edun won the ball. On the left-hand side, drove forward a little bit, played Fraser inside. Fraser drive forward with one touch, has a shot. Bryn makes the save. It parries right into the path of Camara. It is a very easy tap-in, and he just skids it wide towards the right-hand side of the goal. And yeah, definitely would have killed, I mean, it would have, not definitely, it would have killed the game off with to make it 2-0 there. But yeah, unlucky for Camara to put that wide, but he has got to do better there. He has got to do better, but besides that, Camara had an excellent cameo. And yeah, that was the game. Charlton Athletic 1, Leyton Orient 0. Like I said, a very open game. Both teams had their opportunities. I think Orient would probably be feeling a bit disappointed to not come away with at least something, and I think that would be fair to say, but ultimately it was Dobson's goal that was the difference. We scored at the right time. I think Maynard-Brewer was very rarely properly threatened, to be honest with you. And when he was threatened, we were able to deal with it. You know, he made some decent blocks in the defensive line. Maynard-Brewer had a good game, of course, keeping a clean sheet on the opening day. Nathan Asiimwe, I think, played quite well at right wing back. I think, again, at times could tell his inexperience, but you could also tell how good of a player he can be and how good of a prospect he is. The same with Karoy Anderson. Jones, as I said, I think was the weaker of the back three. Lucas Ness looked a lot better. Obviously played as the more central defender for the first 70 minutes. And then when Hector came on, Hector took the central role and Ness went to the right. Yeah, we definitely can't play him on the left-hand side. That is for sure. You can tell we got bullied there. I'm going to go ahead and say it, and I'm willing to eat a slice of humble pie with this one. Terell Thomas had a blinder yesterday. I'm willing to say that. He was really, really good yesterday. Got stuck in, won almost everything in the air. So good in the air yesterday and got himself stuck in. And I think it does show that with us playing a back three, we do need a natural left-sided defender, and the fact that Thomas offered that cover and played as well as he did only emphasises that, you know, we need that left-hand side cover, and potentially, well, I would probably say now we do need another left-footed centre-back to cover Thomas or to provide competition. Blackett-Taylor, for me, was the difference. He was absolutely fantastic in the left wing-back position, and I did have concerns going into it because I was worried about his defensive side of the game. But to be fair, I think we played him as that more advanced wing-back, and he was pushed forward a lot more rather than coming back on a defensive. But I think Blackett-Taylor showed yesterday that on his day, at this level, he is untouchable. He can take anyone on. He will just glide past people. His pace is frightening to defenders, and they cannot deal with him. Blackett-Taylor, for me, obviously Dobson won player of the match. I would probably give Blackett-Taylor man of the match, to be honest with you. I think he was that good. But not taking anything away from Dobson because he put in a proper captain's performance. You know, he got stuck in, of course, scored the winner. The tackles, the influence he has in the middle of the pitch is just absolutely outstanding. Anderson, as I said, played well. Fraser, I felt, was a bit non-existent yesterday. I felt that he had a couple of opportunities and obviously played a few passes. But besides that, I felt it took him a while to really see him in the game. And then as for the front two, Alfie May, I think his work ethic up the ball is excellent. The fact that he makes those runs, we haven't had a striker like that for a long time, you know, that gets in behind and likes to make those runs and latches onto those runs, and he's hounding the goalkeeper, you know, applying the pressure. Tyreece Campbell, he too, in my opinion, had a pretty good game. You know, as I said, I think out of all the wingers we've got, I think he's more natural to play in the striker role. I think he could definitely play that role a lot more often. But like I said, I think with Alfie May, I think it's very clear that he does need that natural strike partner next to him, and I think that Miles Leyton can certainly offer that when he does return from injury, which hopefully will be very soon. And then in terms of the substitutions, Panutche Camara was excellent off the bench. He played really well. Michael Hector added that more assurance and experience at the back. Edun had a good cameo, and Charlie Kirk just frustrated me, to be honest with you. But yeah, at the end of the day, a very good result. I think a result we definitely have to take. Like I said, it wasn't the most outstanding of performances in the world, but it is those 1-0 victories where you can grind out for that victory that gets you promoted, and it is those sort of results that hopefully can lead us on to bigger and greater things this season. As I said, I think Orient will be slightly disappointed to come away with nothing. We did enough to get the win, and that is all that matters. So yeah, that is it for this match reaction, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, can you possibly leave a like, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and turn on those post notifications so you're notified of every time I upload a new video. What do you guys think of the game? Let me know in the comments below. Really good day yesterday, really good atmosphere, and I'm looking forward to going back down there again on the 15th, I think it is, against Bristol Rovers. Unfortunately, there won't be a match reaction for the game against Peterborough. I am away doing something that day, so I won't be attending the game and won't be watching it. So I'm going to have to do a couple videos during the week, which I do plan on doing. There will be content this week. Don't you worry about that. But yeah, give me your thoughts about the game in the comments below. Can't wait for the next one. This has been Tyreell Anderson. Have a nice day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you all then.